These are the two main reasons why I want to enter a Natty physique competition. Welcome back to another episode of Return to the Stage. Today we're going to talk all about why I've decided to enter a natural physique competition. Now, this isn't about why I'm entering the competition. We cover that in episode 1, why I've always wanted to enter a physique competition and why I want to push myself and stuff. This isn't about that. This is all about why I want to enter a natural or natty competition rather than just a sort of free-for-all physique competition. What is the main difference between the two? Well, a natural competition or natty comp is in theory drug tested, and this is different between all the different federations. So when we talk about drug tested, mainly we're talking about the winners or the people that move on to different shows are drug tested for being natural competitors. So non-assisted, no drugs, steroids, all of that. This is opposed to just a normal physique competition where they don't claim to be natural or natural competitors, whereas a free-for-all, which this could be competitors that have taken drugs, not taken drugs, it's just not really mentioned or talked about. That's the main difference between the two. I've decided to enter a natural competition. First and foremost, I have no issue with drugs at all. I honestly could not care less. Even in sort of elite level sport, if people want to take steroids, I literally do not care at all. I know it's creeped into the sort of ballet and dance world that I used to be in. It's been in elite sport for years. I really couldn't care less. We've just had the Olympics. I love watching it. Whether they're on gear, not on gear, it does not bother me at all. This is not a sort of standpoint from like a ideological point of view that I think people shouldn't take drugs. I honestly didn't care less. If I'm watching the 100 meters, I want to watch the fastest dude sprint 100 meters and win. I don't really care whether they're on gear or not. It's not about that. For me, there's a couple of reasons why I've decided to enter a natty comp. Probably the first one is my age. I am a little bit older. I'm 35 years old currently, and bodybuilding, physique, all of that is quite a young man's game. You can make quite a lot of progress naturally when you're young and you have a big influx of hormones, testosterone, etc. The older you get, the harder that gets. And so I'm coming to this quite late after quite a successful 10-year dance career. I'm not claiming that I'm gonna sort of win or go into this, but you know, I am already coming into this at a little bit of a disadvantage. Not that I'm gonna let that hold me back or that I'm not gonna push as hard as I want, but that is an element that's in the room. Again, I wanna enter a natural competition, not because I wanna win, although I am gonna give it my all, but I want to be on as a level playing field as I can be. And so by entering a natty comp, I'm not going to be stood up against some guy that's been pumping gear for like 10 years and he's just going to be way, way, way ahead of me. So it's just to give myself a little bit more of a realistic shot when I head into this competition. Again, this is not about me progressing some career and competing year after year, season after season, and trying to make like a living out of this. This is for me to push myself as hard as I can towards an end goal. I've done photo shoots. I need something a little bit more just to push myself through. And so that is why I'm entering the competition, not to win and not to become, you know, the best in the country or anything like that. But I want to be standing amongst people that are on a similar playing field to myself. Again, I have no issue with drugs at all. If people want to do that, great. I love looking at those sorts of physiques, but it's just not for me. The second main big reason why I want to enter a natural competition is I think a lot of the guys that I look up to at the moment in the industry, that's not just from their sort of physiques point of view, but also from a business and a YouTube point of view, which is something I'm really trying to explore at the moment. A lot of those guys are natural or started off natural. So again, it's just me about following sort of people that I look up to in the industry. So I'm talking about people like AJ Morris, who I have massive amounts of respect for. Josh Bridgman, who I know is not natural now, but is a massive guy on YouTube and has achieved phenomenal things and started out by pushing himself as hard as he could in the natural bodybuilding world. So people like that. Matt does fitness more from a sort of YouTube business perspective. These are people I really look up to in the fitness scene. I think they are really sharing value and doing great things with their physiques, their business, etc. And within the natural sort of physique competing world, that I want to sort of emulate these guys and head into that realm as well. So I think for me personally, that was another big reason why I wanted to get involved in this community. And it really is a community. Since signing up to the federation, the WMBF, they've been really supportive. Their Instagram channel, all of that is amazing. And I just really wanted to be part of that community as well. And that really spoke to me. To summarize, the main reasons why I wanted to enter a natural bodybuilding competition R, I wanted to be vaguely competitive. Again, I'm not in this to win, but I wanted to be amongst like-minded people that are all coming from a sort of natural background and not up against people that have been, juicing their heads off for the last 15 years. Again, I have zero issues with that. I kind of quite like it, it's just not for me. And then number 2, I wanted to sort of enter into a community of people that I really look up to as well. That's why I wanted to enter a Natty physique competition. That's it. Thanks very much for tuning in again this week. We covered Natty or not and my take on drugs in bodybuilding. Controversial as always this topic is. Make sure you tune in next week. Like and subscribe. I appreciate it. It really does help our channel grow, and I will see you all soon. Do you hear my tummy rumble? Mate, I am hungry, dieting. Woo.